Josh's latest book, Telling a Better Story, How to Talk About God in a Skeptical Age, talks about this inside-out kind of approach. Josh, could you explain that to us? What's this inside-out approach to doing apologetics and cultural engagement?
Yeah, so one of the things I saw in evangelism is that it was like we were playing soccer games, but we were expecting, in a soccer game, right, you blow the whistle and the coach is over there and he's not really doing too much, right? In football, the coach, you huddle up, you give plays. And I think our evangelism was kind of working with, here's the play, football, when we're actually playing a soccer game, which means you need to know what you're doing, but if you're just going to try to run off a play sheet, if you're expecting the coach just to kind of give you a track and that's going to work in a 21st century kind of post-Christianity, it's not going to go too well. And yet, at the same time, people need to learn a kind of way to approach these evangelistic conversations. So we need apologetics, but a kind of 5 steps to go from truth to the resurrection oftentimes doesn't actually play out. How do we talk to someone who's coming from very different framework? We're in a pluralistic society. So to start with, stepping inside their story, asking them questions. Hey, tell me your story is a great place to start. And if you listen closely, you will hear things and ask good questions like where they're getting meaning, where they're getting their value, what they're living for, what their moral code is. And so we learn to talk to people by asking them questions and entering their story. What often comes out is you hear some things that we can begin to dig deeper in and ask questions on. I think you're going to hear things that are, on one hand, you will need to eventually challenge, but you'll also hear some aspirations that you can affirm. You can say, yes, that's good. You want justice in the world. That's a good thing. And yet, are we going to get it in the way you're going about it? Or yes, that's good that you value relationships, but have you adopted a kind of worldview that actually will undermine flourishing relationships? And then to be able to transition in conversations to say, this is how the gospel, this is how Christianity makes sense of that. This is how the Christian story. So we're going from inside their story to Christianity and saying, this is how Christianity actually leads to true humanity, to true flourishing. So it's a way that says, hey, yes, we do need to challenge, but are there opportunities here? Augustine famously said, we all have these restless hearts and we're searching for God, but we're searching in the wrong places. And so I'm wanting to pick up on these kind of existential things that people feel in order to get to, hopefully, the more traditional apologetics, yes. But I'm wanting to use Inside Out to deal with the questions of goodness and beauty, and then kind of come on the back door on the kind of cases for the resurrection and other things. Now, sometimes you don't have to do that. You can go straight to making a case for the resurrection, and that's fine too. I'm very practical. If you can do that, if they're ready to listen, go for it. But I often find that in a post-Christian society, we have to start further back.